Remember, don't like, share, or subscribe. What are you trying to do? Blow up the channel or something? I got enough on my plate.
Interesting.
But yeah, long story short, I'm just like afraid of love. So like I feel like it's a defense mechanism when guys are like have feelings for me. I get kind of like scared. Like I literally like ghost them and like that because I just like don't want to deal with that.
Do you want a relationship?
I do. I want like a husband. I want a whole bunch of kids. I want to live in like freaking Montana in like a little country house, and like I want that so bad. Like I really do. But at this point in my life, I'm 21. Like I don't think that's.
You have plenty of time.
Yeah. Like I don't need to be like tied down in a relationship right now. I definitely don't want to.
I love the authority sitting next to her. You don't have time for that. What do you know? What do you know? Now, mind you, she is 21. She is young. I grant her that. She's definitely young. But you don't realize you go from 21 to 25 real fast. And between 25 and 30, depending upon who you hang around, your people start moving on. Like I said earlier, they start meeting somebody. And I know I saw this myself. Friends start getting married, and then they start leaving, and then they start hanging around with other couples. And then before you know it, if you're single, you're by yourself, you start to become a pariah of sorts. It's strange, it's interesting, and it could be scary. Because you don't realize that once you're 40 or 45 and you're by yourself, you better be a pretty secure person to live the rest of your life on your own, and you better have some bucks. But as you start to get into your 50s and you're alone, you really start to feel the weight of time on your shoulders. These people, these ladies, need to speak with some older women that maybe were like that, have them have this come to Jesus moment before it's too late. Right now, they're just talking arrogantly and obnoxiously because they're young and attractive. But, oh wait.
I mean, now you could argue is actually the best time to find somebody. Not when you're.
Why is this the best time?
Because it gets harder and harder.
It gets harder.
Because you're young right now.
Oh, really?
Here, go into that. Why?
So I'm 31 again. It gets harder because everyone that you start dating not only has baggage, but then you also accumulate more emotional damage. So the more guys you go through, the more you're going to be messed up in the head, the more undoing that you're going to have to do for this person that you're looking for. And like, besides being like sexually a virgin, you want to be like as much like a virgin mentally as much as possible for this person that you're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets harder and harder from your own personality and the own things that you've built up, and then also whoever you're dating, also everyone out there, like at my age, has kids, has been through narcissists, have been abused, and like now we're trying to come together and like form this thing, and like it just doesn't work as magically as it does when you're younger and you try to start something like that.
Yeah.
The older you get, you just got to lessen your standards, and some of the people you see aren't going to check all your boxes like you want them to when they're young, and they have the options to.
Now it's like no one will
fresh.
ever check all your boxes at this age. Now you kind of have to just settle for.
Finally, a voice of reason at the table. Thank God.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Definitely.
did your trust issues come from? Your parents?
Yeah, parents, friends, men. Yeah, pretty much everything. When I was in high school, and I before I was even a model, people kind of put me on this pedestal because they already knew that I was, going to be a model or like be something. So they put me on this pedestal, and I never did that to myself. But people saw me and put me up there, and then people would be like, they would be my friend, and they would use me because they thought they were going to get something out of it. And yeah, it was some very toxic friendships. And like I'd always, whenever they try to like. We would be like stop being friends. They would come back in my life, and I would take them back, and then they'd me over again. So
that's never gonna stop. It's just about how you were able to bounce off.
I
those
know
people
now I'm like
life.
better with
if
friends.
anything, it gets worse.
Filter
No,
them
now
out.
I'm better with friends and stuff. I literally have like 3 just close friends. I really like don't trust a lot of people and don't let people in my circle. And
All right, so let's get into the conclusion here. Essentially, I get it. I understand. It took me well into my 30s to unload a lot of the baggage of deceit from people, friends taking advantage of me, business partners and people in business taking advantage of me, family members causing me to weigh in on my emotions and make emotional decisions to go into business deals, losing tens or maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, time interest compounded. So it took me all of that damage to finally come to a place where I could say that I became an emotionally healthy individual. And you go through what life throws at you, the everyday challenges of illness and disease and that kind of stuff. And that really brings you down, and you start realizing what's important in this world, which is having great relationships, good friends, albeit that circle should be small and high in terms of quality, and that we find that we should leave the world better than the way we found it, which means not imposing damage upon others and recognizing that we have problems with ourselves, and we should go out to make sure that we get the necessary help so that we don't do damage, not only to ourselves, but to others in the wake of our bad decision making in our handling of interpersonal situations with others along the way on this timeline